This weekend's Singapore Grand Prix is said to be a massive battleground with a number of teams bringing huge upgrades. With just 7 races left in the 2024 Formula 1 season, there is still everything to play for, with Charles Leclerc 19 points behind Lando Norris and 78 behind Max Verstappen. His chances of a Drivers' Championship win are slim, but not impossible. What is more exciting for Ferrari is their odds of a Constructors' Championship victory. Carlos Sainz's retirement from the Azerbaijan Grand Prix put a dent in their hopes, but the 51-point gap to McLaren at the top is nothing, with 7 races remaining. Today, I'll check out what upgrades are coming to Singapore and why Ferrari's decisions are a huge risk for the team. So don't go anywhere. The quick-fire 4 races since the summer break end this weekend with the Singapore Grand Prix. The Marina-based street circuit was the scene of Red Bull's only loss last year, and their odds of picking up a win this year are as good as 0. The Milton Keynes-based squad have been off the pace for a few months now, and after the race in Baku last weekend, they admitted that their issues date back all the way to the 2023 Spanish Grand Prix, meaning it won't be a quick fix. The only thing left for Red Bull now is holding on to Max Verstappen's Drivers' Championship lead. The problem is that with them being so far off the pace, they need to hope that Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc get in the way of each other in their pursuit of Verstappen. The maths is in Max's favour for now as well. To win the Drivers' Championship, Lando Norris needs to take just under 8.5 points more per race than Verstappen over the remaining 7 races, and Leclerc needs just over 11. It is possible, but with both drivers fighting each other for points at the moment, it's going to come down to the wire. With all that in mind, Ferrari have warned the rest of the grid that they aren't messing around anymore, and in Singapore they're going to make life hell for their opponents. The goal for the team is to maximise their own potential and not waste any more opportunities to close down Norris and McLaren. Ferrari has always performed well in Singapore in recent seasons. In 2022, Leclerc and Sainz finished 2nd and 3rd, while last year the Spaniard managed the feat of being the only driver to beat Red Bull all year. Ferrari team boss Fred Vasseur, who after Baku underlined the importance of collecting a greater number of points in the Asian night race, underlined his drivers' feelings about the race. The outcome of the last race was not what we'd hoped for, which in itself says that our level of competitiveness is very high, especially in the current context of F1, where there is little difference in performance between the top 4 teams. We want to continue on this path in Singapore, another very demanding street circuit. Both our drivers enjoy racing here, and in fact one of them won last year. We would like to repeat the feat this weekend by continuing to work well as a team, as we have done in the last races. Singapore is a circuit which always has the possibility to shuffle the field. The incredibly challenging conditions for the drivers, combined with the extremely bumpy track surface, means it is often a track where the best teams struggle. During Mercedes' most dominant years of the last decade, they always struggled to find performance in Singapore, and Red Bull have experienced the same struggles over the past 2 seasons. That could mean that Ferrari and McLaren find they struggle to beat the rest of the field this weekend. Working in Ferrari's favour is the fact that the track will be similar to the last few rounds in terms of corner properties. Speaking after the race in Baku, Fred Vasseur said, "If Ferrari was strong in these races due to the characteristics of the tracks, it is positive, because next weekend we'll race in Singapore where there are the same type of corners." While Ferrari may be good on the tyres and strong through the corners, they are no match for McLaren on the straight, as Oscar Piastri showed in Azerbaijan. McLaren have been helped by a flexible front wing which the FIA have stated they will not interfere with, instead waiting until next season to adjust the tests they do for component stiffness to limit the flexibility allowed in wing elements. McLaren also revealed a flexible DRS flap in Baku, which further aided their top speed. By having flexible wing elements, a team's car can reduce the drag it creates at high speed without sacrificing the downforce created in medium and low-speed corners. However, due to a change in plan, Ferrari will be fast-tracking some upgrades for Singapore which were due for the following race in Austin. The Scuderia will introduce a slightly flexible front wing on the SF24, similar to McLaren, which has been taking advantage of the scrutineering tests the FIA uses. However, they'll still be at a disadvantage due to the McLaren rear wing, which is probably impossible to replicate this late in the season. The decision to fast-track upgrades, guided by team principal Fred Vasseur and head of aerodynamics Diego Tondi, aims to bring forward the last significant component for the year. The front wing remains a critical element of aerodynamics, as it is the first part of the car to interact with airflow, which means it could provide a significant boost to the car's performance. However, its performance is crucial, as it must function as anticipated by the aerodynamicists, otherwise it could throw off the entire aerodynamic profile of the car. Ferrari's decision to fast-track this upgrade is therefore very risky. Optimizing the composite materials used to achieve flex only at specific loads and speeds, without compromising aerodynamics, is an extremely complex task. Trying to match the level of complexity in the McLaren front wing in just one upgrade will be almost impossible, but if Ferrari can pull it off, it could give them the advantage they need to take the battle for both championships down to the wire. Much like the race at Monza, Ferrari's upgrades see them head into Singapore blind, despite the track being very similar to the last round in Baku. They haven't gathered any data in regards to how the car will fare with the new front wing, so they have no idea if the upgrades will help turn around the team's fortunes and give them the required speed. In Monza, the speedy characteristics of the track didn't provide a chance for the team to fully understand the extent of the upgrades. Being a track featuring fewer corners and more straights, the team had fewer opportunities to discover if the car possessed the required stability in the chicanes. The same awaits the team in Singapore. While the second sector is composed of slow corners, the first and third sectors are predominantly made up of straights. The track doesn't feature many medium or high-speed corners, which is where Ferrari will be looking to test the effectiveness of their new front wing. What that does mean is that if the wing doesn't work perfectly, it may not be the end of the world in Singapore, but if it is a problem, they might not find out until after the 3-weekend break, which leads into the race in Austin, Texas. Of course, McLaren aren't going to let Ferrari bring upgrades uncontested. Andrea Stella has confirmed upgrades are on the way for McLaren over the next few races, but is going to let the FIA provide the surprise. Having drip-fed some smaller upgrade steps to the MCL38 since the more significant upgrade package rollout in Miami, another larger step upgrade is expected to be introduced by McLaren before the end of the season. "We are definitely working on upgrades for this season," Stella confirmed. "We are now finalizing this. I don't want to disclose too much in terms of what and when, but we do have a plan to make the car faster." With every team required to submit descriptions of tweaked or upgraded components to the FIA, who collate the data to publish on Friday mornings of each Grand Prix weekend, Stella said that it'll be a case of waiting to read said document to discover what McLaren is cooking. "Yes, I can confirm that we have some stuff coming for the next races," he said, laughing that we will see when pushed as to whether that may be at this weekend's Singapore Grand Prix. "I'll let the surprise be the FIA document when they're published." McLaren's decision to bring small upgrades since Miami has obviously worked for them, as they now lead the Constructors' Championship. What it also means is that the team could have more budget remaining for upgrades than Ferrari do, which could mean they have a lot more performance to come for the final stretch of the season. Every single Grand Prix is crucial now, and if Lando Norris is to secure the driver's title ahead of Charles Lecerlc and Max Verstappen, then McLaren's planned upgrades have to be absolutely spot on. Do you think Ferrari's new flexi front wing can make enough of a difference to their straight-line speed to challenge McLaren? Or will it not work as intended, harming the team's title challenge rather than aiding it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and until next time, drive safe and bye for now.